Hey guys.
What's going on, Sean?
Hey. Not too much. It's Thursday. So for those watching, we got over here. We got Kyle over at No Hype Beer Reviews. No, that's Aussie, I guess, but that's Kyle is over there. That's Kyle. There we go.
I am Kyle.
That's Kyle. Aussie can't talk because he's a poster. And then that's Keith.
Hello.
From 93 Lumber. You can check out their channels at the end of the video. They'll be like all over the place. Their little icons. You click those.
Fancy.
And then, and then probably in the titles and probably in the description. You can tell I haven't done a beer review in a while because I'm rambling. But anyways, we have a beer courtesy of me. I picked this beer up when I was in North Carolina a few months ago. This is from Incendiary Brewing. They're out of Winston-Salem. This is a rye Imperial Stout. That's all it is. No nonsense. Rye Imperial Stout. So Imperial Stout with rye. 12.4%. It's 4:58 p.m. So we're going to hit 12.4% before 5 p.m.
Raise your hand if you didn't know it was 12% till today.
I knew it was, but then I forgot. And I was like, I think it's 9, but I definitely mentioned 12 in the chat once or twice. But
I'm sure you did.
Then I forgot. But here we go.
Yeah, I didn't forget. I've been looking forward to this.
Fair. All right, get into it, brother.
Let's do it.
Also, did anybody say how awesome the artwork is?
Oh, yeah, it's super rad artwork. Yeah.
I know we talked about how cool it is before, but since this is the actual review, I figured we'd say it here too.
Yeah, no, that's fair, dude. Good point.
Incendiary is a really cool spot. Like I've been there a few times. So I go to North Carolina at least once a year to visit friends, and everything I've ever had by them is always like on point. They had like a cucumber lager that was ridiculous. I was like, how is this going to work? And it does. And it's a really great space next to like a pizza shop. If you're ever in the area, I can't recommend.
Sounds refreshing. Cucumber lager.
It really was.
Yeah.
Wait, no, the cucumber lager wasn't there. It was a different place I went to in North Carolina. But either way, cucumber lager is still good.
Very dark.
Yeah. Very thick head too.
Still?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like on camera it looks black, but I feel like it's very, 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 very dark brown. Maybe? No.
If I hold it directly to light, I see a lot of brown. But I don't know like how much that just has to do with putting it directly to a light. Like I don't know if I had motor oil literally and held it to light, would it show a little bit of brown that way too? I don't know. But yeah, you're right. There is dark brown in there. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely the head like has some specks of red, it seems like too, but
yeah.
I like that.
I was gonna say it's like reddish, kind of almost that like purple color.
Yeah, kind of like what is it, like a clay, like the red clay on like a baseball field almost, maybe. Yeah.
You guys are killing me with these amazing things you're saying, and I am not. So step up my game.
You can step up your game on the nose, Kyle.
A lot of pressure, man. Well, are we getting into the nose?
I'm good.
All right.
Nose?
I like the balance of sweetness and roast. That's the first thing I'll say is it's not only one for me. Like there's some nice roasty stoutiness for me. There's a little bit of sweetness there, so it doesn't seem like it's gonna be, coffee grounds and cigarette ashes, and it also doesn't seem like it's gonna be, pastry stout, German chocolate cake, literally in the beer.
That would be awesome, though.
Am I doing better? I was really trying there to.
You're doing better. You did much better. I'd give you like a 9.2. Easy.
All right, thanks. Apparently I need praise today.
I'm shocked you didn't say there's a little bit of like a sweetness, but it's not vanilla. So I was going to say, I'm shocked you didn't say vanilla, but I guess it's not vanilla, but there is a sweetness.
Some chocolate.
It's almost
chocolate.
Like a
nutty.
Nutty.
Cherry. You get cherry, like a chocolate cherry thing almost.
Yeah.
I could see that.
A little jammy.
Yeah.
Is no one gonna mention the rye?
Well,
I get a lot of it.
Yeah,
you can.
Like, no.
You're the one mentioning it. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's very nice. I like it.
It is. There was just so much other stuff going on, and the rye was there, and the rye was already in the name. But I guess it probably makes sense if people want to know if it actually has rye in it. So good call. Good call.
Yeah.
little bit of that spicy rye thing I get. Yeah.
When the first couple smells of it, the rye seemed bigger, but then the last one I took, it wasn't quite as big, but yeah, I don't know.
The ratio of what I'm getting to each other, I'm really happy with. Yeah, I get nothing's dominating in any way, let alone in a bad way or something. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and maybe a touch of alcohol vapor thing, just to let you know that it's that it means business.
That it's 12.4. Yeah.
I just maybe don't take such a big sip.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of sips,
should we take a sip?
Hey, we should. All right.
Cheers.
So, cheers.
That's an easy one.
And clink.
Clink.
Clink, clink, clink. Thanks again, Sean.
You're welcome. Sean. That mouthfeel is really nice.
Yeah. I'll take a less obvious note. I get even more jam on the taste than I got on the aroma.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
I was gonna say the amount of that cherry thing that you mentioned in the Sean, you mentioned in the aroma. I get almost enough of it to make it seem like there might be a little bit of something in this, but there's not. So
cherries or infection.
You think they put adjuncts in it and they didn't tell anyone?
No, I think that's all beer. I think it's beer.
I was trying to take what I thought was a less obvious thing, but yeah, it does have this jammy cherry fruit. These jammy cherry fruit notes. Yeah.
Yeah, not infected, I wouldn't say.
Okay, yeah, I don't, because it doesn't drink like that to me. That's why I wanted to clarify that. Yeah.
Personally, I think for just overall, I'm really enjoying this beer. I wasn't worried, but I didn't have it at the brewery. I bought it just based on the other stouts I had, and they didn't have this on draft. So I was like, this sounds amazing. I'm just going to do it. So I'm really happy that it's hitting.
First thing I noticed is what you said, Sean, about the mouthfeel. And then it's when I had that, when the mouthfeel hit, when I've had beers this viscous or slightly more, slightly less, but in this vicinity, they're usually sweeter. So then the next thing I would notice was, there's a good amount of bitterness and then I would say bitterness, then roastiness for me in intensity. So I was like, okay, it's not as sweet as I was then thinking based on the viscosity. Got that jammy thing, which was awesome. A little bit of spicy thing from the rye. Can you guys do you taste rye? For me, it almost always just comes across as this generic spicy, not cinnamon spicy and not super peppery spicy, just spicy, just what that word means in taste. I don't know.
It's almost on right as it finishes, a wisp, and then it lingers a little bit on the aftertaste, I think.
I would say I don't think I get as much as I was getting in the aroma. But also it comes across different because in the aroma, it's a little more, I don't know, peppery, spicy, or whatever kind of spicy. But in the taste, it's more like rye bread.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
When you said rye bread, what's still lingering on my palate is rye bread So I appreciate you saying that because it did bring me there. Okay, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, the finish is like rye.
Go ahead.
The finish is like rye bread with a little bit of chocolate syrup on it.
Okay, so I was purposefully not saying anything about chocolate because I don't want to dominate the tasting section, but it definitely has a nice chocolate element, and yes, the aftertaste also has the chocolate. But I didn't want to bring up chocolate. I was hoping someone else would. But yeah, it's really good.
Every time I take a sip, I guess the cherry thing I was talking about and the jam thing you were talking about, Kyle, is the same thing. But it comes across like cherry for me. like, and like whenever I take a sip, like I get like this huge hit of it. Makes
The
me think
tasting
that there's-
notes, now that we've kind of covered, and you
Oh,
said
yeah.
cherry, you said jammy. They specifically said cherry and raspberry.
Hmm.
I was like,
Oh.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, for sure.
And they mentioned winter spice. So when you said you're not really getting the rye spiciness,
Okay.
so maybe that's. But you're not getting. You don't get the cinnamon either. So I don't know if I would say
No.
fully agree. But
I'll
yeah,
give it
definitely
like
like
a
cherry and
generic
raspberry. I
spicy.
can see it.
It's like, I think it's something you say, Kyle. Like the impression of
The illusion.
baking spice, the illusion.
It's an illusion, Michael.
It's kind of like the illusion of baking spices, except it's less than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like the illusion of baking spices.
Whispers of an illusion of an illusion.
Yeah.
Of baking spices. Yeah, yeah. No, I'll go along with that. I think that is my generic spicy note. But so, Sean, their tasting notes didn't say anything about chocolate.
Let's see.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had read all of them.
I did, but then I I kind of didn't want to spoil it, so I stopped.
Okay, so cherry, raspberry.
Cherry and raspberry.
A
are the
mouthfeel
only
of dark
tasting notes.
chocolate fudgy brownies. Impressions of winter spices from rye and an imperial ABV wrap up the whole experience to warm your chiller winter bones.
I feel good. I feel
definitely.
like we all three of us and whoever came up with their their tasting notes were pretty on point with each other.
Yeah. And for like that no adjunct stout, I guess is rye an adjunct?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it counts as an, or does it count as a grain? So it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's I always thought of it as an adjunct. I guess it is technically core ingredients. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
I love stouts like this though. Like you get like, you don't need like all the adjuncts to get these type of like the jammy characteristic and the cherry characteristic. Like I love when this comes out in the stout and you still get the chocolatiness. You still get a roast characteristic. Like it, like I maybe I would like a little bit more toastiness, but at this point I'm just like finding things to like nitpick about. You know what I mean? So like, but overall, like I love this beer.
No, they crushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, every sip it's like a delight. It's just it's hits the checklist of what a beer like this has, with a couple other little flavors that maybe get less often or something, but still are appropriate. Yeah, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah. So as we close out, I guess any final thoughts?
Thanks for sharing a tasty beer, Sean.
Yeah, it's good.
Where can we find you, Kyle?
No Hype Beer Reviews. The best is YouTube. And
Keith I think Keith is going to have a bunch of like addendums of like, find me here until.
No, 93 Lumber spelled out on YouTube.
It's the best. That's where we post our videos.
Yeah, that works. And then down in the comments, what do you think of? Have you had this beer? What do you think of Incendiary? What do you think of this beer in general? Have you been to Incendiary? What are your favorite Incendiary beers? Let's have a conversation. Don't forget to check out nerdsense.net and Kyle and Keith. And I'm Sean.
I'm Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you wanted us to.
I messed it up, though. It's my bad. I'm Sean. That's Kyle. That's Keith. This is Nerdsense.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.